I'm always concerned for Julian's health. He's been having to go through incredible hardship for the 7 years that he was in the Ecuadorian embassy. It was a small apartment, no outdoor space. He didn't have any sunlight for 7 years. And then he was dragged to Belmarsh, and he hasn't stepped outside Belmarsh other than in the courtroom since April 2019. Belmarsh is a horrible, grim place that exists to isolate people, to crush their hope. It has, I think, 3 times the average prison suicide rate, 3 times more than the average UK prison. Julian's lost a friend in Belmarsh prison in November 2020, committed suicide. And that's because it's a terrible environment. And he has very little stimulation. He describes it as sensory deprivation. He describes prison as a meat processing factory. They just keep them alive.
Because the goal is not to completely subjugate Afghanistan. The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal, i.e. the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
What a toxic civilization we are living in, Michael. Utterly barbaric and toxic. It's a shame that we're not talking about the substance of what this man's done. And obviously this is meant to be about justice. Right now, the Taliban is recapturing Afghanistan. Britain, the United States and their allies went there 20 years ago, actually a month after 9/11 effectively. And we've been there for 20 years. Britain only spent about 35 billion, which is obviously an immense amount of money. It's about £2,000 per family, per household. But together, $2 trillion was spent in Afghanistan. 100,000 Afghan civilians died. I think more than 2,000 US combat personnel died. More than 430, 50 British combat personnel died. Many more got PTSD, lost limbs, etc., etc. Profound, devastating loss. And people like Julian Assange and WikiLeaks were trying to expose the military war machine, the commercial military war machine,